Have you ever had a really good idea or a good business idea and you were like, I'm gonna get this started. I'm just gonna go straight through. You? Yeah, me too. And yeah, that's really been the story of my entrepreneurship journey. Getting a great idea, going head first into it, and then somewhere down the line, I just go, hmm, I just, things go downhill. And I'm gonna talk about it today. So, y'all, like, I have over the last, I'm gonna say like 10 years, maybe 11 years, 10 or 11. I have started like 6 businesses. And, in the back of my mind, I should be a millionaire because I've started so many businesses within the last 10 years. Like, I should be like balling, right? Um, but the crazy thing is, like, I started these things and then I stopped them. And that's why I'm here because I am starting again, but this time I'm going to be consistent. So I wanted to take you guys on my journey of all the businesses that I've created and just, I guess, like what they were for me during that moment in life. And let me just say this, like, if you got an idea, it is nothing wrong with moving on it. Like, sometimes you just got to do it. And that was really my mindset. Like, you just got to do it and you'll figure out the rest later on. And that's really been my thing. But anywho, I just want to tell you guys about the businesses that I've started. So the very first business idea that I had was to run a magazine. And I did. I had a magazine. It was called Your Story Magazine. I ran that for 3 years and I was basically interviewing entrepreneurs from all sorts of industries and posting stories. And I was like really, really committed to it because I wanted to be a writer. And I'm like, I don't like nothing that these news media outlets are writing about. So I'm going to create my own niche. And that's what I did. I had a whole team of writers and everything. So I ran that for 3 years and then eventually it kind of started to like, fade out. And I guess everything dies with time. But that was my first baby. I was so proud of, and I really did create a name for myself within those 3 years. Like people would be reaching out to me to, feature their artists or to get featured in the magazine. So it was really cool, and that was proof that you really can create your own brand and create, who you want to be in life. And I'm like, I'm pressed. I'm gonna get into I was getting into events with the name Your Story. Like I was a legit um media outlet. Okay. So the second short-term business that I ran was I was doing freelance writing services. So for like small entrepreneurs, I would do their bios, I would do just whatever like branding copy they needed for their business. I had a way with words. So I'm like, let me put this to work. And it also came at a time when I had quit my job and I needed to get some income flowing. So I'm like, hey, let me use what I got to, make things happen. So I was doing writing services. I did that for a short amount of time. Yeah, I did it for a short amount of time, but I'm happy that I did it. So the third business that I launched, this was more so a product, and that was my book that I self-published. It is called 5 Ways to Get Your Ideas Out of Your Head. How coincidental, because I come up with ideas. And when I released that book, that was kind of me like coming out of doing the magazine because I felt like I wanted to create something that I could put in people's hands because with the magazine that I was doing, I was telling stories of how people became entrepreneurs and, just how they got from point A to point Z. But I felt like with this book, I wanted to actually give people like something tangible that would actually help them as a tool to come up with an idea and then start to like, make that idea come to life. Yeah, that was my baby also. Yeah, I enjoy doing that book, and the crazy thing about that book is it came from a the outline of that book came from a PowerPoint presentation that I had created that I never actually got to present. But I knew that outline was gonna come in handy at some time. I didn't know when, but literally like a year, not even a year, like maybe like 8 months after I did that, created that presentation. One night I was just honestly praying to God, like, God, I feel like I'm supposed to do more. Like, there's more for me to do. I want to pour into people. How can I do it? And He showed me that PowerPoint on my desktop on my computer, and I just took it and ran with it. And it took me about 3 months to write the book, but and that was amazing. That was like a God answer prayer. And I was so focused. I'm like, I gotta finish this book. I gotta get it published. And I had no clue of what I was doing. I had never published a book. I had no clue of how to do anything, but I literally just ran with the idea and I figured it out down the line. And one of like my biggest, besides publishing the book, one of my biggest accomplishments was actually getting that book into a university in Washington, D.C. Like, a little old me um, was able to pitch my book to somebody and they included it in their curriculum at their university. So cool. And I say all that to say, if you got an idea, just run with it. You just never know how like life is gonna happen. So the fourth business idea that I had after I published that book, I still wanted to help people, wanted to pour into people. I wanted to like walk with people in getting their ideas out. So I took that book and flipped that into an email course. So basically, I would email whoever purchased the course every week, like whatever assignments they had to do, and just walk them through the process. So it was like more in depth than the book. And that was like pretty successful too. Of course, my whole thing was I'm not hitting the numbers I want to hit. So, I didn't know how to like go back and okay, let's rework the plan and then work the plan some more. Like I didn't have that stick to itness at the time. It's like if it didn't work the first time the way I wanted it to, then obviously it's not right. I gotta start over from scratch, which is not always the best idea. Sometimes you just gotta rework the plan. But wisdom comes with experience. But yeah, so I took that book and flipped it into an email course, and I did have some people that paid to be a part of my course, and I worked that thing. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And what I started to notice about myself was, okay, I have this gift or this ability to take things and like multiply them into multiple things. It's crazy, but yeah. So I imagine like if I really stuck with something, how life could look, and that is my goal for all 2022 is to stick with something and watch it grow. So the fifth business idea I had, and this was after like the book, after the email course. This is when after I came back to Chicago from living in New York for 2 years. Me still like I want to create something because that's just how my mind works. Like I want to be creating something. So I decided to do a conference, and it is called the Visionary Conference. Did that, and that was a full day of just entrepreneurs or 9 to 5ers just coming together and being poured into, and just getting like that confidence and that courage to move on something. And again, like all of these ideas have come from like me wanting to pour into people. So it's like first the book, I want to give you a tool, then it's the email course, I want to like walk with you, and then now we have the conference, so I want to create like an actual environment for you to physically be in, because I do believe like environments like can birth things within people. And that was the whole thing. Like I wanted to create something where people got in tune with like their purpose, like that thing that like nags you, or that thing that you think about like all the time. Like that is not coincidental. That is who you are. That is a part of you, and maybe it's supposed to come to life. So I wanted to create, an environment for people to give birth to their ideas. So yeah, and that was a great experience. And again, I did not keep going with it. And in retrospect, some stuff I probably was supposed to stick to, and maybe some stuff just was seasonal. But what I did start to learn was just looking back. your gifts have to be cultivated. And obviously I have some kind of gift with people. Like teaching is a gift. My way with words is a gift of mine. And sometimes you just have to allow your gifts to be, cultivated. So that doesn't mean like, oh, if it doesn't work, this one outlet doesn't work, quit on it. Maybe it is like, okay, I just got to keep, like I said, keep working at it, allow your gift to mature. And I do believe like God allowed my gift to mature. And so like the place that I've been working at for the last 5 years, I have been teaching, and I do believe that that is my gift. I have a natural gift of teaching, but again, it has to be cultivated. And me working where I've been working for the last 5 years, my gift has definitely been cultivated. I've learned how to teach and talk to all kinds of people. I've learned how to work with all kinds of people. And in teaching, it's like you walking with people. You are coaching them. You are, holding their hand, getting them from point A to point B. You're breaking down like complex ideas and making them, simple for them. So yeah, my gift has definitely been cultivated up in there, and I'm excited, what my next journey is gonna be. And you should be excited about your journey too. Okay, and last but certainly not least, the next business idea that I had was I created a self-publishing course. So around this time, I think I did this in 2018. I didn't give you guys years, but it's a span of like 2011 until like 2018. So I created a self-publishing course. So basically, I created a 7-week course that basically walked with you in getting your book idea, outlining your book, creating chapters for your book, and ultimately writing that book. And when I look back at that course, like it was more than just, getting people to write their books. It was really like helping people cultivate like their writing voice, their writing style, and even understanding like, this is your gift. Like this is your writing is your assignment on earth, part of one of your assignments on earth, it's all a part of your ultimate purpose, but it's a part of, who you are and what you're supposed to do on this earth. And I was able to coach some lovely women in that program. And I definitely kind of do look forward to like starting it back up if that's what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, that was amazing also. So like in doing all of this, I really, as you guys can see, I love to pour into people and coach people and, just walk with people and help them ultimately become who God created and called them to be. And in that, like being confident in your gift, like God just made all of us to do something amazing on this earth. And sometimes it's hard to figure it out, but you kind of just gotta like whatever just comes to you naturally. Like, and even if it is like, hey, like me, I want to do flowers at one point. I was doing florals, and that built confidence in me. And it's not something that I'm doing forever, but it's a creative part of me that I like to do. So even if it's just like that one thing that you like to do, just do it just because. And please believe there is a lesson in what you're doing right now. Like literally all of it works together, for your good. Like even just me being on camera right now, like I don't know where this is leading, but I know that this is an assignment for me. Like I'm supposed to be on camera, recording, talking to y'all, whoever is watching. Some of y'all I know, some I don't. But this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now, and I'm gonna roll with it. And I'm learning so much about me in the process, and I'm also learning that I love to actually be on camera. It's actually fun. I come alive like this. So yeah, just like trust the process. And that's the biggest thing. That's something that I really had to learn was, to trust the process. Like who knows? Some of those ideas that I had some years ago, they may come back. You just never know because everything could be in like a cycle. Like you just never know like how things are gonna go. But it could lead you back to point A or point B. But you just gotta be willing to ride the roller coaster. And mine has definitely been a roller coaster. And for me, I thought I had failed because I stopped, but failure is really just perception. Like just because something did not work out the way you wanted it to the first time does not mean if you go back to that thing the second or third time it won't pop off. So all this to say, just try. Just do that one thing. that you like to do. Just be consistent in that one thing and just allow it to, it's like a seed, right? Like what I'm doing right now, this is a seed. This YouTube channel is a seed. And I believe everything else that I've done has been seeds. And, just because you plant your seed the first day does not mean it's going to just grow into a flower overnight. As you can see, it takes weeks or sometimes it takes months for, those seeds to start to germinate underneath the soil. And then eventually it grows into a fruit or a flower or a tree. So just look at yourself like, hey, I'm planting seeds. And if I keep watering the seed, if I keep cultivating the seed, eventually is going to grow into something. Like even with me working and teaching at the nonprofit that I work at, if I wasn't getting in front of those people like teaching every day, I wouldn't have had the courage to even get on camera at some point and be vulnerable and share myself. So like I say all that to say everything works together. You just got to be willing to go with the process and just enjoy it. Like have fun with it. And that's something that doing flowers and painting like had to bring me back to. Like you ain't got to make money off everything, Jonnita. Although that's nice. But just do something because you love it and just have fun in the process and just see like where God is taking you. I think I read something this morning just about surrendering your steps and just letting God lead you. And that doesn't have to be like, oh, God wants me to do this. Oh my God, I don't know how to do it. I don't want to do it. But let it be an adventure. Like it's you learning something new about yourself. It's just you becoming another version of you, like evolving. Just imagine, like you got all these seeds planted and you keep watering them and eventually you grow into like this beautiful tree with fruit that other people can eat off of. Like I'm sharing, my knowledge and experiences with y'all, and hopefully, it encourages you and pushes you into action. And then somebody eat off your tree, and then we got a whole bunch of people that's just out here being amazing, walking in purpose, and having fulfilling careers and lives. And we're just one big happy family at some point. But I'm gonna wrap this up. As always, y'all, thanks for watching, and I really hope that that you guys just do that one thing that you like to do and just do it every day, one step at a time, and just give yourself that chance to see where it takes you. Enjoy the ride because it really is a roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster. But yeah, so if you rock with this video, definitely join the fam if you are not subscribed. You know what I'm saying? And like this video and comment. Let me know, like, what's that one thing that you are gonna do or would like to do, and you just want to take like one step. Remember, we are all in this thing together. I'm taking y'all on my journey, and we on this thing together. So thanks for watching. Take care. Peace.